Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. How many minutes? Okay. Oh, 5 seconds, bro.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Ching Suru Radio Hour. Hello and welcome to the Ching Suru Radio Welcome to the Ching Suru Radio Hour. Welcome to the Ching
No, that's not the American Revolution. But at the same time, the idea film. But he spoke of the contagion of liberty. I mean, that's what the American Revolution introduced, and we're still having that contagion has not yet been snuffed out. We're still fighting it. But there's one thing in particular that struck me. Very recently, we had Akio Rita Marr from Yale Law School on.
So, a lot of it, Jane Kaminsky, following Bernard Bailyn in our film, talks about, she said, the liberty talk is leaky. People are talking about it all up and down in the lead up, at least a decade lead up to the American Revolution, during what was called by scholars the resistance period, in which women are dominant in this way. And then propagandists like Samuel Adams. It's everywhere. Lemuel Haynes is a soldier, a free black man from Granby, Massachusetts, who is at Fort Ticonderoga, the surviving, straggling, still alive from the diseases and the defeat of the failed invasion.
Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Oh, don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? Working as a waitress in a cocktail bar.
Maybe change the lyrics so it's about the Count of Monte Cristo.
The Countess.
Edmund Dante.
Dante's.
Edmund Dante, baby. Edmund Dante, whoa.
That's a great song.
I was swording with the rabbi in the...
It's not all about sword fighting.
No? What is it about?
It's about having a pure, true, honest, courageous. Like Spike Lee would always say to you, you'd be like, do the right thing.
The governor, you were
No,
a
commoner. So like the
in
thing
the
that I love
baptism.
about those novels is that it's always
Wait, connor's not a job. What was his job? Mate.
Yes, exactly. Like, he was technically the first mate on the ship, but I think he worked his way up to that. This guy Edmund Dantes, and you know, so you would get on a ship, and there'd be like a job, and you'd be a sailor, and you'd sail to India, and you'd bring back pepper or whatever they have. And, you know, you sail somewhere, and you get, you know, some spices, and then when you got back, if you didn't get pirated or whatever, or you didn't, you know, sink, you would get paid, you know, for bringing the goods back. And he was one of those people, and then he became the second in command, the first mate, I guess. Essentially for the captain's actions, but everyone was just really jealous of him. His friends were jealous of him because he was so brilliant and brave and outstanding. And then he went to the Chateau de Ouf. The Chateau de Ouf.
Chateau of the Egg?
Well, it's a prison. I don't know what it was called.
I just like to shoot backgrounds.
I do too. Are there any fish in here?
There's one, but he's barely moving. Oh, there he is. Or she is, I think.
Successful as much as a commoner can be, and then his friends Danglars, and this guy was in love with Mercedes, and then I haven't read it in a while. I'm forgetting his friends' names. Danglars is the only one. He's the worst, and he kind of gets away in the end, or you know, the Count of Monte Cristo just lets him go. But so his friends kind of conspire against him because one is just the worst one who has the most pathetic death. This is really interesting to me about the book, and I'm sorry that Keller dies the most pathetically. The sense of injustice or wrongdoing that we just look the other way and just go along with it, or like they're not going to stand up against it. But Calarus actually he died the most pathetic way in the novel, and I think it was emblematic of like that certain kind of that weakness, that frail, that it's not frailty, it's more kind of disgusting weakness when you do the right thing, when you see wrong being portrayed from your eyes. But Danglars and the other guy became like a top general. Sorry, this is going too long. But then Danglars just wanted to be like a captain, and he was like, dang, like Dante's is so much better than me, let me ruin him. So him and the guy who loved a Mercedes conspired against him, and they turned him into a traitor to Napoleon somehow. And then there were honest people along the way. There was like this honest judge, but he was caught in a scandal, so he didn't do the right thing. There were a few honest people, but and there was the abbey, I forget what the fair. I should tell the whole book, man. But then the Abbe Farrar inspires. This is such an important part. He was never going to get out of prison, but the Abbey was brilliant, person on the world stage of the European world stage, who had also been sentenced to prison, and he lit the flame of learning again in Dante's. He started teaching Dante. Dante's. Just wanting to self-improve. He was never going to get out of prison. It was hopeless. He was going to die in prison. Isn't that the most beautiful thing when you know you have a death sentence? And you're going to die in prison. But you just want to make yourself better. You want to learn for Watch out, man. Watch out, man.
What I failed to calculate. A kind of artist. A kind of artist. A kind of artist. A kind of artist. A kind
of about like that book, a great book, and you're getting ripped off, so don't listen to what is that? There's no play, there's no movie that can equal the novel.
kind of artist. Kind of artist.
I just get inspired by those books. I love those kinds of books, and I read them. Like, it's against the odds. When you're like, I'm a commoner, straight up commoner. Hey, my friend was like, you're giving. She's English. She went like, you're giving. Because I have a lip, because, sometimes. She's like, you're giving. So I think I should, you know how you call me Funky Chuck, Mark? But I think it should be Gimpy Chuck.
Gimpy Chuck.
Gimpy Chuck. Gimpy Chuck. Embrace. The gimp. The gimp.
For the British and 5,000 for the Patriots. That is not a moral number. That is merely having to do with the way in which strategically, in order to sort of keep patriot enslavers off balance, there was an attempt to offer freedom. The entire British Empire is making its money off the 13 other colonies. I have people come up to me, I had no idea there are 26 colonies. And they only
Yeah, you got the
Virginia.
rug. Yeah, you got the rug. Can you put it in the hallway? Put it in the hallway.
Let's put it on the front porch.
Not the front porch, man. What are we, hillbillies?
Yeah.
The Beverly Hillbillies?
Have you seen the front porch?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you want more stuff on the front porch?
You're gonna grab it off. That's what I'm saying.
No, you can put it in the backyard. Leave it in the Beverly Hillbilly backyard.
Okay.
Hey, what else? What else did you get?
The light lamp.
Black family, if you think about comments that Gordon Reed makes throughout the film and other scholars, that you're just looking for daylight. Nobody wants to be in slavery, and so maybe the daylight is the British, maybe the daylight is the Patriots. The Connecticut and particularly Rhode Island are offering.
I have a house in my backyard, and Gio has an island one.
Okay, I couldn't really understand. You said you got a
Washington comes to Cambridge, doesn't want any more black troops. Stop this. And then, has the firm no, Jane Kaminsky says, of a Virginia planter, and he evolves. And he goes, okay. And then black soldiers fight as Native Americans fight heroically, as women fight heroically. And, we tend to make these battles entirely masculine. Who have run away to go out of fear, or to go plant their crops, or to sow their crops, but they're teenagers and ne'er-do-wells and second and third sons without the chance of an inheritance, of recent immigrants from Germany and Ireland, of felons, and that Continental Army. This is why the democracy is not the intention of the revolution. That's another thing, Sydney, that the question brings up.
I got the jam. Keep playing it.
This is really rustico.
I can't even see the sun doesn't show, or it's a little bit too low in the sky. Yeah,
It's peeking through though.
it'll come through.
Wow. This is some rough road.
So like, where do you guys rank Cheap Trick?
What?
As far as like Cheap Trick is easily top 2 or 3. Like Cheap Trick is right there with me with T-Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You can hear that.
As far as like bands that were popular, that kind of made it big. Cheap Trick, man. Like Cheap Trick. They're from 20 miles outside of town or something like that.
Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford. Yeah. The Rock Illy,
Which is 20 minutes from here.
yeah, it's like it's winding roads, but if it was a straight shot, it would be like 42. You know what they call the Rock, man? They call Rockford the Rock Illy, man. Rock, Illinois. Rock Illy. You better have respect when you go to Rock Illy. You know what I'm talking about.
You and I have nothing left to prove, nah, this for me though. I'm just trying to stay alive and take care of my people. And they don't have no reward for that.
You know the Rock Illy, man. You can't go to Rock Illy at half steps. Now tell, like, if you take half steps in Rock Illy, you should just like check out the music that comes out of Rockford, Illinois, and you will understand. So just stay on your best behavior. And my friend says, Kippy. So I was like, okay, I can work with that. I can work with gimping. Although I'm determined now to erase the gimp. What up, man? You alright, man? So. Hey, what is it called when, like, that kind of thing you did with the music? Like, to the song. Who you calling? I had these sonic, like those hypersonic teeth cleanings, and like my dentist was all buff and strong and radiantly handsome and tall and healthy, and I think he overdid it, man. He put too much. What's it called when
He's too buff and too strong.
Yeah, what's that called when you put your like, you put something behind, you put an effort in? He's really...
Oh, you're describing a Brazilian bikini wax.
Yeah, now we're making our way through Kentucky. We're expecting some light to minor turbulence. And we're showing another hour and 10 minutes scope for down in Chicago. About that 2 hours, 10 minutes ago before touching down in Chicago, and then we'll have another update closer to the descent. Thanks so much for the ride.
Lake and Palmer did that until their 60s or 70s.
What did they do?
They would have like bikini wax contests.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they'd be in it.
Emerson, Lake, and Palmer?
Right, those guys. Maybe not those exact guys, but men like that.
Kalimba. Is that a kalimba? What? What is it? You know, so I went somewhere where they had like 25 drums today, and I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want someone to go rob them of all their drums. Is that weird of me? But I had so much fun. Argentina, man. Off limits.
It's your thing. Say a couple things, but then I'm not really into that. It's a radio show.
Or a pulpit.
More Povich. I got more rules than lined paper. Legal pad?
What are you? Afraid? Hesitant? Sorry, man. I'll leave it alone, man. I don't care. Me no care. Me not care. I not care. Me all good. I hate it when people say, like, you're good. I always want to say, like, I know I'm good. What? Is that bad? Is that pretty bad?
I think talking about it's
Wait, what?
I don't understand why you're talking about it.
You don't understand?
Not at all.
Because then this would just be like an ambient noise show. And that would bore silly.
Why are you on the show?
Then why what? This is what are you talking about? Why am I on the show? Is that what you're saying? I started the
How do you remember? If it wasn't for you, there'd be no show. Talk about that. Talk about the olden days of the show. Yeah, when you were still virile.
When my friend Kurt was on, do you remember that show? No one can
I remember that show.
No, you don't. So listen about Kurt. Kurt was a poet and a tennis player, and he lived under the bridge. He lived under the Locust Street Bridge, and he was totally committed to working out. He'd do it every day. He was always hanging from the tree by his arms. Then he would go and he was doing a pull-up, or he was doing some kind of squat or glute exercise. He had gorgeous long hair, and he came on the show and read his poetry. It was probably one of the first 10 shows. He sat over there, then he started drinking again, and he went even more downhill. I shouldn't say he was downhill, but like, he was living in a church basement for a while, and he was trying to get his life all straightened out for a while. Then something happened, and he was living under the bridge, under the Locust Street Bridge. I don't want to talk about his demise, but the last time I saw him, he was really drunk, and he was by Oakland and Locust. But he was on the show, and he read his poetry for an hour. It was great. He was super good at tennis too. He could beat you really bad. He would take you to the cleaners, but he would teach you all nicely. He was always hanging from a tree doing a pull-up or some glute exercise. Kurt. One of the first 10 guests on Ching Suru. Or I think it wasn't called Ching Suru back then, but hey. Yeah. Yeah, it's called Wait, what?
That's not the American Revolution. But at the same time, the idea is people were feeling something, and you mentioned Bernard Bailyn, who was indeed a great historian of the revolution. I was very happy you got to have one on film. But he spoke of the contagion of
all his songs.
He was fantastic.
No, he was on the Better Show. The Show. He was on The Show.
But there's one thing in particular that struck me. Very recently, we had Akio Rita Marr from Yale Law School on to talk about various things. But one of the things he talked about, talking mostly about the
one
Civil
before
War,
that, the one with Simon Cowell.
but he said that the
and
American
Paula
Revolution
Abdul.
produced the first.
I'm sorry, the other guy, I can't remember his name. What's the name of that show? He was on that show. He was one of the first seasons. He was living homeless too, and he jammed some. What was his name? No, that's the other guy.
All of it down in the lead up, at least a decade lead up to the American Revolution, during what was called by scholars the Resistance period, in which women are dominant in this way. And then propagandists like Samuel Adams, who said his job is to keep his fellow colonists alive to their grievances. Sounds very familiar in a modern media context, but yes.
His chains on the show. That was such a good show. So weird. Show. I like the Jennifer years. Jennifer was on the show for like a year and a half. She was fantastic. Jennifer was on the show. We had lots of guys from people that would be like from famous weird underground bands, and they would stop by. Remember those days? They'd be like, it's really funny.
In Georgia and the Carolinas sort of adapt before emancipation to whatever this new thing they have in front of them now that the Union has small territories there. It's everywhere. Lemuel Haynes is a soldier, a free black man from Granby, Massachusetts.
You know, so ambient noise started in like those people like Bruce Conner, those first interdisciplinary artists. When did they start? I think Maya Deren. She's my fave. Maya Deren, Bruce Conner. Maya Deren was in the 40s. They were interdisciplinary artists before 30 years before the term was even invented, and like they did ambient noise. I totally don't want to copy them.
Who are you copying? You're not copying anybody.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking out your.
No, but the idea of doing ambient noise shows boring.
I'm sorry, it's boring to you. But there's nothing I can do. But I like to do it. So what's boring to you is not boring to me.
We're at odds, bro.
No, don't call me bro.
Don't call you bro.
Did I stutter?
I think nature came up with the first ambient sounds.
Yeah, for sure.
So that goes way,
Well,
way
we're
back.
talking about
Recreate.
the idea of culture. Culture
It was
created.
Blue Diamond Phillips.
It was great. Like when I lived in San Francisco, I was looking up at Rob. We were like looking to the that guy, Bruce Conner. It's chill. It's like I copy my sons and his friends when I see chill now. I'm not really. I was never like chill, but like you said, chill. He's so cool.
Did you call him bro?
Copy Bruce Conner. No, I only copy Gio. Only copy 19. Copy 19. Don't copy anybody, bro. Even 19. Gotta use the word chill, bro. I'm not like everybody else. Yeah.
Hanging out in blue jeans. Bobby Bristol,
Baby Street.
and I Steven
I'd
Neubauer.
like to say,
Yeah, Chuck rather be hanging on to the porch.
yeah.
With bars and lamps and all the tries and rides and laughs and all the tries. He's hanging out on his porch. It's beautiful.
Size. Something's creepy, man. Money jokes.
He's singing on
As long as I can have
and Tiger Lily.
I'd much rather
He's
be
got being on the lily pad. And then watch the birthday man.
everybody
And his
like
eyes
to
on
say
vacation.
we'll do okay.
But
Preferably
he's
be
doing fine.
Here we go.
And so poor guy. Got his son chopping things up on there. There's a bike and a drum. And a bunch of others.
Melting round. Sound of my heart in your side.
Top house porch.
I have to go against the grain, man. I can't go with the crowd, bruh. I stop. It's against my sensibility, blue jeans. I swear to the universe, I don't think I've had blue jeans on since like 1994. I think one time, the only time I had to have blue jeans on was for like someone's silly play. I was in someone's silly play in like a Milwaukee underground play, and I wore, that's the only time I wore blue jeans in the last like 30
That
years.
model you're wearing blue jeans. You're wearing those tight blue jeans.
Do you have blue jeans on right now?
Tight blue jeans on.
I mean, don't hate on blue jeans. They're totally fine. That's Mark telling us just to be quiet. Whenever Mark wants us to be quiet, he's like, flash out.
You're going against the grain, man.
You are. You
The
went
grain
against-
man. Nobody likes the grain man.
Hey, so I just started watching that show, Larry Sanders. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
No, you weren't.
What a great show.
No,
man.
you weren't. You're not going to talk about
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Larry Sanders. When they come to
mic off.
Larry Sanders.
Mic off. Turn your mic
Why
off.
don't you hear about it?
Everybody wants to hear about
This is what
some
every in the audience is waiting.
show.
And I realized Mark is the producer of our show because he's just like the guy from Larry Sanders. Have you ever watched that show? You're like the guy from Larry Sanders. In control. Boom. All right, man. Sing it. You got it. Go with it. Go with it. everything, but I know that you have to make lots of mistakes to even get close to making really good art. Like I know all that stuff. I know all about that stuff. So you have to be willing to take a risk and get out of your comfort zone, man. To be
Just a tiny little chicken.
to be any good. And preaching to the masses about being good. You have to be ready to. You have to take a risk. Mistakes are brilliant opportunities. Remember like this. You have only one more chance. 10 minutes to go. What you got for me? What can you do? Step up to the plate, man.
Navigator remembers that.
It's your moment.
No,
So the map.
You only get one shot, man. That's it. You have it. He has like a million followers. Wait, what, creep?
1,000,000,005.
Yeah.
Exactly that many.
Eminem?
Yeah, and such.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Eminem, I'm sorry.
He's the greatest rapper alive.
Detroit.
I dedicate my life to believing that the movie goes on after I go dark. So it's like I believe
Eminem knows what's going on in the version of what he knows. That didn't make any sense. That was
No, actually, that made a lot of sense to me.
It did?
Yeah, it made perfect sense.
So cool, so cool.
I thought it was quite important to say that.
Oh, you're like
Doing three
Yeah.
things at once, yeah. That's correct.
No, you're not doing three things at once.
Will you cue the violence?
You have the violin. I'm not gonna expose what you're doing, man. I won't expose you.
That is merely having to do with the way in which strategically, in order to sort of keep patriot enslavers off balance, there was an attempt to offer freedom. The entire British Empire is making its money off the 13 other colonies. I have people come up to me, I had no idea there are 26 colonies. And they, only Virginia and South Carolina are lucrative or profit-making. Massachusetts is the least profit-making. maybe the daylight is the British, maybe the daylight is the Patriots. You know, the Connecticut and particularly Rhode Island are offering emancipation if they fight, and they do, and they're heroic in their fight. No, Jane Kaminsky says, of a Virginia planter, and he evolves. And he goes, okay. And then black soldiers fight as Native Americans fight heroically, as women fight heroically. And, you know, we tend to make these battles entirely masculine. They're huge cities filled with women and children, and they're doing sometimes the fighting, but also the... ne'er-do-wells and second and third sons without the chance of an inheritance, of recent immigrants from Germany and Ireland, of felons, and that Continental Army. This is why the democracy is not the intention of the revolution. That's another thing, Sydney, that the question brings up. It's an unintended consequence, because you're gonna have to throw something to the people who've actually done this.